Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Your Mark on the World show. I'm your host, Devin Thorpe, and we have so much fun today. We've got two great guests, mother and daughter. We've got with us daughter Hannah Kerchner, who is the founder of Hannah's Musical Hope, and her mother, Dr. Angie Kerchner, who is the founder of the Avalo Center for Integrative Health and Wellness. Did I get that right, Dr. Angie?
You did. Perfect. Thank you.
Okay. I was so worried about that. Listen, thank you both for coming on the show. We're thrilled to have you. It was great to meet you last summer in Dallas. It was a wonderful time to be in Dallas. I think it was only 108 degrees or something. But it was fun. We were taping that demo footage for a reality TV show. I know our friend Wendy Lipton-Dibner is still working to get that into production, and you guys were great, and it was a lot of fun.
It was.
Well, Hannah, I want to start with you, if you would. Just tell us about Hannah's Musical Hope.
So Hannah's Musical Hope is a nonprofit that I started. What we do is we take old instruments that people have in their houses. We fix them up and we donate them to low-income students and schools.
That's great. How did you get started?
I started out by going to a conference and I learned how to start a business, and I was given my first donation and I went with it and started it up.
So why did you want to do this?
Well, for me, band is like everything that I care about most. It's where all of my friends have come from. It's where I have all the best memories. I can push myself and I can always get better with music. And so I wanted everybody to have an opportunity to do that. And I knew some of my friends weren't in band because they couldn't afford it. So that was a problem.
How big a problem is it, do you think, that some students can't afford musical instruments to be in band?
I think it's a pretty big problem. Because when you participate in music, specifically band, test scores are increased and grades are increased. Students are more likely to have more responsibility because they have something they care about. And the way music works in our brains, it makes our brain work, it helps us in school.
Interesting. Well, how are things going with Hannah's Musical Hope now?
They are really good. We are 501c3 certified at this point. And we just donated our first instrument to a student, and so it's
very good. Congratulations. What was the instrument?
Trombone.
Very good. How many instruments do you have now?
I have about 20.
Great. Well, I hope you'll collect many, many more in the coming months. Dr. Angie, let's talk a little bit about what you're doing, and let's start by asking what you see as the problem with our healthcare system.
That's a very big question. We'll try to sum it up. The main problem that I am looking to solve is that there are a lot of tools that we have available to work with to help patients find healing and wellness that are not available to us in the conventional healthcare system. And when we couple that with the significant limitations on time that we as primary care physicians have to spend with our patients, along with the high cost of healthcare, we have this all-encompassing problem that causes patients to not receive the care that they need and physicians to not have the ability to care for their patients the way they really want to.
It does seem like in America, and I'm certainly not the first one to observe this, I'm essentially continuing your thought, but we spend a lot of time treating diseases instead of treating people.
Exactly. And what was really difficult for me as I progressed through my medical education and training is I found that my job was not so much in that relationship of healing with my patient, but it was in clicking boxes and making sure that the bureaucracy was happy. And I'm looking for a way to get away from that and to bring the relationship back between the patient and the physician.
It seems to me too that the emphasis on treating diseases is the working at the wrong end of the problem. There are so many things that we can be doing to improve health and protect us from disease that most of us aren't doing. What are some of the things that you want to incorporate into your practice?
Well, number one, we can solve a tremendous amount of our health issues in this, in our society if we focus, like you said, on prevention, but food is the number one thing. And even back when medicine was in its baby stages, when Hippocrates was around, he said, let food be your medicine. Otherwise, medicine will be your food. And that's where we've ended up in this country, is medicine is our food. And that's not the way we want it. So we need to look at our diets, number one, and then also just other aspects of lifestyle, making sure that we're taking time to relax and have some time for restoration, and also moving, making sure that we're not sitting in front of our computers all day long and we're getting some movement and exercise.
Yeah. So what are some of the top 2 or 3 things that you think we should be doing in terms of diet to be more healthy?
Absolutely. Number one thing is to cut the sugar out of our diets. We eat a tremendous amount of sugar in this country, and so we need to cut that out. And the easiest way to do that is to stop drinking it. We drink a lot of sugary, sweet things that if we could cut those out and just drink water, that would make a huge health impact on a lot of people's lives. And then also just eating more fresh fruits and vegetables. We used to say 5 a day, but that's actually the minimum requirement to stay alive. Actually, most of us need closer to 9 to 13 servings of fruits and vegetables a day.
Wow.
So I really tell my patients to focus on looking at goals instead of looking at limitations. And so focusing on what we should be doing rather than on what we shouldn't be doing is really a way that we can get around some of the mind blocks that we have to having a healthier lifestyle.
So as we look beyond diet, what are the 2 or 3 most important things beyond diet that we should be doing to maintain healthier lifestyles?
Beyond that, one of the major problems that we have also is not enough sleep. So making sure that we're getting enough sleep every day. I know some of us work nights, including myself at times. And so just trying to make sure that we're getting that 6 to 8 hours, depending on age, of sleep every single day is really important. And taking time to just be quiet and to turn things off, to take some time to just meditate, be contemplative, whether that's in nature or in a special quiet room that we have in our home. Just taking that time to reflect and shut our minds down is really, really important for our overall health.
That's great insights. I appreciate you sharing that. Hannah, you really, as you create a 501c3 nonprofit organization to go out and help other people, especially kids, you become a role model to a lot of other people. Who do you look up to as a role model? Who inspires you?
One person that inspires me is J.K. Rowling, author of the Harry Potter series, because, she used to be just as normal as the rest of us. She had kids that she was raising on her own, worked a normal job, and she really had to work hard to get that first book published because none of the publishers would take it, but she kept persevering and she got through.
Yeah, and she is one of the very wealthiest people in the world now. It is a remarkable story of perseverance. Of course, it helped that she had a tremendous talent, but she worked hard. Great story. Now, Hannah, you could be doing a lot of things. Why did you feel personally responsible for launching a nonprofit?
Well, I felt like nobody else was going to do it. The way our school system is, nothing gets done because it just goes in circles. It goes to the school board, goes back to the school, goes back to the school board, round and round. So I felt like if I wanted my friends to be able to be in band, all these other people, then I was going to have to do it myself.
Yeah, that's great. I'm glad you did. Now, Hannah, we ask all of our guests for an impact hack, a tip that would help us to do more good in the world. What's yours?
I try to use the knowledge that I know to help my peers so then they can better themselves.
Fantastic. That's great. Now, Angie, you're obviously, the moment you graduated, earned that MD, you become really a role model to a lot of people. And as you continue your practice and build toward launching your new center, clearly you are a leader. But who do you look up to as a role model?
Well, in my senior year of medical school, it happened to be 2010, the year that the earthquake occurred in Haiti. And I went down there as a volunteer 2 weeks after the earthquake. And since then have fallen in love with Haiti and its history and culture. And because of that, have come to know about Dr. Paul Farmer, who has taken on some of the most challenging health problems that have faced this earth. And he has overcome them in really amazing ways. And so I have continued to look up to him as someone who has not looked at the barriers to what face us in the problems that we have out there, but look towards the solutions and the reason behind the solutions. And so he's really been an inspiration for me as I continue to work on solving some of the problems that are out there.
Well, that's a great insight. And now more than ever, Paul needs our help, right? He's thought this hurricane that just blew through Haiti has been, by some measures, more devastating than the 2010 earthquake, and really a tremendous setback to a country that couldn't afford a setback. So, yeah, great example. Now, there are a lot of people who recognize the need for improving the healthcare system, but most of us grouse about it and think it's someone else's responsibility. Angie, why did you feel like this was your job?
For me, it was a matter of survival. I knew that I needed to continue my work as a physician, the work that I set out to do in the beginning, partially because of Hannah, because at one point in time when I wanted to walk away from it all, she said, "Mom, you can't quit, because if you do, that means all that time you spent away from us when we were little was for nothing. And so you can't make it for nothing." And so I decided that I needed to make the system a place where I could survive with good conscience and make it a better place for myself and my peers, and also for the patients that need us.
That's a great insight, great answer. Now, Angie, what's your impact hack?
I think just continuing to look towards the solutions and look at the why behind our solutions, because if we look at the problems and the barriers, then it just becomes overwhelming. And so focusing on what we can do instead of what we can't do is really, really important.
I think that's a great insight, and I appreciate you sharing that. Now, Hannah, before we go, tell us how people can learn more about Hannah's Musical Hope and connect with you.
The best place to go is our website, hannahsmusicalhope.org. And if you wanted to contact us, we have a contact form you can fill out. So
great. And Angie, what about you? How do people learn more about the Avalo Health Center?
Well, we haven't yet launched. We do have a website with a contact form like Hannah does, and that is avalohealth.com. I'm also really easily available on Facebook and Twitter, or you can email me at drangie@avalohealth.com.
Fantastic. Well, we thank you both for taking the time to be on the show today and wish you every success in your endeavors.
Thank you so much, Devin.
All righty. Let's do some good.